The process to change this reality continues. This is for the most part an uneven effort. On one hand, we have the Ascended Masters, numerous secret societies, and their close allies, those individuals sincerely dedicated to a quick and sane ending to the power and wealth of the Dark's many minions. These oligarchs were intent on a massive depopulation program, which has recently begun to have some effect on the world's numerous underdeveloped and poorer countries. This set of deadly projects is only now being somewhat stopped by a series of enlightened whistleblowers. These projects are part of other activities that are poisoning the world's air, oceans, and ground with deadly pathogens and an increase in the spread of radiation and its evil side effects to humanity. We are carefully monitoring these things and keeping the vile effects to a lower level of intensity. We can rid Gaia of these things only when the world's major governments permit our visible presence over a wide period of time. Here, the importance of NESARA becomes quite evident. We look forward to new governance becoming a manifested reality. The ongoing manifesting of various funds is a continuing sign of the rising overcautious behavior of those entrusted with the safe movement of large sums across international boundaries. We again encourage these groups to permit us to have a much greater hand in this most essential set of very sensitive operations. We possess technologies that are quite capable of resolving much of the difficulty currently inherent in this complex procedure. In spite of these difficulties, the transfers are reaching a point where these funds can actually be safely distributed. As these moments arrive, it is our intent to see the final end to the power and prestige of these depraved oligarchs. It is time to revise this reality and permit each of you to bask in an end to both debt slavery and the immoral ways of the Dark. These goals are also part of a larger program set forth many years ago by an agreement between the forces of light and those in charge of bringing you your long-promised new reality. We expect this to finally happen very quickly. It is a deed whose time has come. The new financial system is, as you know, a combination of a strict set of new banking regulations, Basel III and IV, and vast depositories of gold, silver, and precious jewels long sequestered by the ancient families, enlightened royals, and the divine work of Saint Germain and Kuan Yin. This immense prosperity is meant for those who are to soar with wealth and create humanitarian projects that allow all to return to excellent health, learn about their ever-changing bodies, and bring forth new and sequestered inventions to aid humanity. This is to permit Gaia and her many ecosystems to prosper. These projects are also to aid the introduction of new governance and make it possible to end the decades-old UFO cover-up. These events, furthermore, are to inform humanity about its true origins and help to further spread the mercy, grace, and good works of the Ascended Masters and their protectors, the Agarthans. These projects are to distribute healthy food and water. Humanity is sadly lacking in the nourishment and clean water that it globally needs to ready itself for full consciousness. We are doing what we can to help extend the good works of the Ascended Masters and our Agarthan cousins. We realize how ingrained most of you are in the ways inculcated millennia ago by the Anunnaki. Hence, we are preparing our own set of mentors who are to land among you when we come to explain how that first happened in the last days of Atlantis. Heaven has issued a number of special dispensations, which are the true foundation for what is now happening to each of you. This heaven-sent growth in consciousness is waking you up and permitting greater and greater numbers of you to accept the wonder of a vastly new and more aware reality. Numerous events are swiftly loosening the grip of the dark oligarchs who ran this globe with the aid of the Anunnaki for millennia. This time is currently ending. Each of you is to end your time in the dark and learn of the great potential within you. This grand miracle is to set the magnificent stage for your return to again becoming galactic humans, physical angels. Namaste. We are your Ascended Masters. Your world is entering a final period of transition. Those who have ruled your global societies are being forced to give up the power and prestige they once thought were undisputed. This loss of power is just the beginning for them. Numerous societies, like Iceland, which defied their rule, are currently being hailed as heroes. Many smaller nations are following this example and demonstrating to all just how far this fall from grace has come. Many other events are also showing that the old ways of the dark are quickly fading. We masters are proud of these states and their defiance of the power of these numerous oligarchs. This process grows as the dark begins to fully realize that its demise is upon it. This is only the first part of a global revolution in consciousness. A new time for each of you is dawning. This new reality promises an end to the needless following of arcane rules and the vast liberation of how each of you views this time. You are entering a revolution of consciousness and a joint coalition of freedom and the achievement of your dreams. These possibilities were long imagined for you, and yet somehow this possibility kept slipping from grasp. Heaven used its vast influence to ensure that this most needed reality was to be your true future. Therefore, a continual squeeze was exerted on the dark oligarchy to assure your success in these matters. The Agarthans aided us by further amplifying these actions. Thus, your time to shine is at hand. The dark can no longer keep postponing the inevitable. The monies are in place and the new banking system is in operation. The old ways are now fully exposed. They are shortly to become useless items, which are to fill the great dustbin of history to overflowing. You can be assured that your time is here, and a slew of governments are ready to manifest before you. These understated facts represent the new wave starting to overcome the drafters of the former oligarchs. Their word is no longer to be the law for this group of global societies. Instead, their words are to prove their guilt and sentence them to a long isolation from you. The dark's arrogance is to end and a new era of freedom is to begin. This is eventually to lead to new knowledge and the meeting of our many branches of this human family. You have long been unable to understand how you became so separated from your family and are to learn a vast and complex history of your origins. This legacy, when known, is to become quite precious to you. We masters wish, moreover, to explain this in detail to you. It is hard to have amnesia, which prevents you from fully comprehending who you really are. This is to be returned along with your long-forgotten potential. Hallelujah! Hallelujah! Today, we spent a great deal of time making you aware of what is happening across this globe. Many wondrous events are now to occur to thrust you into this new reality. Therefore, be ready to accept it and realize how complex your journey was to this most magnificent point in your history. A great many amazing moments are now ready to appear before you. Know, dear ones, that the countless supply and never-ending prosperity of heaven are indeed yours. So be it.